Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Games and Graps pre-show before the pre-show for NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. My name is Sonny G, and I'm here with Steve.
Hello.
Soon to be joined by the always late Finn Steele. And what we're going to do, we're going to run down NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. I mean, this is, a super exciting show tonight. It's just 5 matches, but the card just looks fantastic. It looks like a solid wrestling show.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't expect anything less really from an NXT Takeover show. This is exactly what this is, really, isn't it? It's a takeover show. It's just a different name, but you wouldn't expect anything less, really. Stacked card. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of people in the comments straight away before we bring Finn in, who is waiting. Brett Thomas is on the Powered 4 YouTube, and he says, "Sup? What's up, Brett? How's it going, my friend? Thank you for joining us and spending your Sunday evening with us." Squinny is here. Evening, chaps. How's your holes? Probably not as bad as Naya's. Lewis Young is here, and he says hi. What's happening, Lewis? Thank you for joining us, my friend. Brett says New Japan with Impact, and we will get into that in just we'll talk about that as well. We may as well. We're here, we're live, we've got an hour, so we'll talk about that along with NXT Takeover Vengeance Day as well. But now I would just like to introduce to the stream the one and only Finn Steele.
Hello.
How's it going, Finn?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Not that late today. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I made it. Work wasn't that bad. Well, it was pretty shit, but I made it. I broke free early enough to make it.
Congratulations. Yeah, to be honest, no real complaints there, Finn. You've made it. You're here, and you're a pivotal part of the show. We need you here.
Thank you. Yes, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I made it.
Excellent. So what we're going to do, guys, we are going to run down the show. Talk about the matches that are going to be happening tonight on NXT Takeover in this next hour or so before the pre-show starts on the WWE Network. What did you say?
Yes, it's Quinny saying, "Thanks for coming, Sharon." Fucking Sharon.
That's what he said. Mike Angus is here. What's happening, Mike? How's it going, brother? Still don't know why they didn't call it St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Yeah, I know. I feel like they missed a trick there because they had the Valentine's Day Massacre 22 years ago. Mike's just pointed out, and that was when Big Show made his debut. So the main event of that was Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon in a steel cage match. I remember it really well. The steel cage was black, and the Big Show actually helped Stone Cold win. He threw Austin against the cage because obviously he's so big and powerful and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, the cage swung open. Austin fell out. He wins. And, that was Big Show's debut. Obviously, then he was Paul White because he just coming from WCW as the Giant. But, yeah, good times. And I feel like NXT missed a trick there, but, it is what it is. I like that they've got the V from, when they used to do Vengeance as a pay-per-view, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, nice little nice touch there.
Yeah, definitely. Squiddy says the Valentine's Day Massacre is his favourite pay-per-view ever. Bob Holly versus Al Snow for the hardcore title, and it goes into the Mississippi River.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I know which one.
Yeah, I think I remember that as well.
Yeah.
Mike's favourite pay-per-view as well. If you've not seen it, go watch it. Brett Thomas has actually asked, what is Powered 4? Well, Powered 4 is a wrestling on-demand service for the best of the UK independent scene. And we're also branching out into other stuff. There's a load of podcasts and, there's good content and then there's, this. So
better content.
Better content, yeah. We get really good sound effects like...
Wait. For it.
Finn is not prepared for that at all. Sorry, Finn. I've just thrown that straight at you, haven't I?
There you go.
There you go. My hole from Nia Jax from Raw. Right.
Toss off so many men.
That's later.
There we go. Perfect. Look at us. Just the typical Games and Graps nonsense.
Yes.
On a Sunday evening, 10 o'clock. Good times. Right. So, what we're going to do then, we are going to talk about the different matches, and we'll start now. We'll run down the card and we'll get everybody's thoughts. Obviously, we want to hear your thoughts in the comments as well. But we'll start with the NXT Women's Championship, which is being defended in a triple threat match. Io Shirai defends her title versus Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez. Finn, this should be a great match.
Yeah, that should be awesome. 3 of the best in NXT right now, if not in WWE right now, if not in general in wrestling right now. Obviously, Io Shirai has been fantastic this whole time as champion. Toni Storm, former UK champion, first ever UK champion.
Yeah,
held the title for a good while. Has put on some great matches, and the Mercedes Martinez, a veteran in wrestling. And yeah, it's going to be a great match.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good match. Steve, how are you feeling about this one? Could be a show stealer.
Yeah, it could be absolutely be a show stealer. I'm going to go for Toni Storm to win this. I think they're really pushing. They seem to be really pushing it at the minute. There's been a lot of vignettes about her, and I think Io Shirai could potentially go up to the main roster. Toni Storm is going to be the winner tonight for me.
Now, every time we predict that somebody's going to get to the main roster, they end up spending another 6 months in NXT. So I'm not sure that. I mean, I said it as well. I said on the podcast this week that Io Shirai would, more than likely go to the main roster. But
makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. And I would love to see her have a run with Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. But that just feels like it's too good to be true. I
guess it does, yeah. Especially with Charlotte now back on the scene as well, and we've spoke about that enough where we think that Charlotte's potentially going to have the title back at WrestleMania. So it may be too good to be true. And as you say, our predictions for people going up to the main roster from NXT or across, because if you believe Adam Cole, they are equal brands now.
It's certainly better than Raw. I mean, Christ.
Just a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Although I heard someone, and I'm not going to mention their name because they are Twitter famous.
Are they Twitter famous? Is that a thing?
They are. Well, not Twitter famous. They're popular in the wrestling scene. I'll message you afterwards.
Okay.
They said that NXT was just Raw in black and gold, which I thought was very harsh.
It's incredibly harsh. Yeah, I mean, and also not factual.
No, I'm not having it at all.
Not at all.
Yeah. So anyway, we digress. We do keep getting it wrong when we say that they're going to go to the main roster. They're going to go to Raw or SmackDown from NXT. So who knows? Hey, if Toni Storm wins it tonight, and it means that Shirai gets another shot, it means we get another match, which is great.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I agree. I mean, I think Toni Storm as well. I don't know why. None of us have gone for Mercedes Martinez. Really, Finn, did you go for? Did you say Io?
Yeah, for Io, yeah. To be different. Mercedes was on the main roster for about 3 seconds.
She was part of Retribution, wasn't she?
Yeah, but to get out of Retribution last minute.
She did well there.
Yeah, she did, yeah. So screw this, I'm out.
Yeah, she did really well there. I mean, poor Mia Yim, she's still stuck in Retribution, but Mercedes Martinez has really sort of escaped there, and she now gets to forge her own path, while she's still in NXT, which is great. But John Scott's here. What's happening, John? Welcome to the show. Squinny's calling it a night already, like a wimp. It's got to be up at 4 a.m.
Oof.
Just stay up and watch NXT, then go work.
Yeah, he needs sleep.
We went to work after the Royal Rumble because we are hardened wrestling veterans.
I did.
Yeah.
And I was also tired for a week after that as well.
I had the day off.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I thought you were working. I worked. It was the worst. I was KO'd for almost a week. It was absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, I think we've got. I mean, apart from Finn, who said Io, obviously I went Toni Storm. Steve has gone Toni Storm as well. Guys, obviously let us know what you think in the chat as well. But I mean, that should be a great match. I think.
Yeah.
Possibly match of the night for sure.
Definitely.
But I would just love to see Toni win it. I don't know why. I think her call to the main roster NXT was supposed to be a little while ago. Clearly derailed by the pandemic, like almost everything else. But it's good to see her finally getting the opportunities that she does deserve. And yeah, I'm going for Toni Storm, definitely.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see Toni winning it. I'd come for Io because Io's great. I wouldn't mind seeing her with the title a little bit longer.
Oh, same. I mean, she's had it a long time now, hasn't she?
Yeah. Maybe lose it over WrestleMania weekend, maybe.
I can't remember, to be quite honest. I'm happy to be informed, but
it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a little while. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So obviously tonight we'll see the 2 final matches of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and I imagine this is going to be the first one. The first one that goes on. I don't know. But Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez are taking on the team of Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. So obviously this is the first ever Women's Dusty Cup.
Yeah. It is.
And it makes perfect sense to have it now, now that we've got the... Sorry?
They need tag teams, desperately, for the women's division.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't any. They keep breaking them up as well. I guess.
Yeah, you got the Iconics, and they break them up, which was pointless. Because neither are really doing anything now. Like Peyton Royce is on Raw, occasionally teaming with Lacey Evans, and Billie Kay's handing out pictures of her own face on SmackDown and costing the Riot Squad matches. So that was pointless breaking them up, and
it's bizarre.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. When you have got teams like the Riot Squad, but they just seem so apprehensive to actually put the championships on them.
Yeah. Strange.
But hopefully, Dakota and Raquel Gonzalez will, continue to be a team going forward, because I think they're really great together. I think they complement each other really well.
Yeah, they've had some great matches in this run to the final. They've had some really, really good matches. I think, to be fair, all the women's matches have been good. All of them.
Definitely, yeah.
So, I don't know who's going to... I do think Dakota Kai and Gonzalez are going to win. I think this will be a bit of a precursor as to then what happens on the main roster. In terms of the next... Well, the winner of this obviously goes on to get a tag team title shot, women's tag team title shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Currently held by Shayna Baszler and My Hole. But they have an upcoming match against Lana and Naomi. So if Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez win this, I don't see it being a heel team versus a heel team. So perhaps that's a precursor to Lana and Naomi winning those belts.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's another team that's been thrown together for the sake of tag teams.
Exactly.
Which is really annoying, but that's WWE all over, isn't it?
Well, it's a threadbare division anyway, isn't it? So there's probably going to be more of a need, I guess, to throw tag teams together in the women's side of things.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Finn, what are you thinking about this?
I like both teams. I like Ember and Shotzi a lot. I could definitely see them winning it. I could definitely see them going up against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. But as Steve did, I could also see him, Lana and Naomi winning it. So it could go either way for me. I think I said Dakota Kai and Gonzalez on the podcast. I'll stick with that.
I think they're the clear winners. I mean, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, they're not really a team. If you know what and although I think they do have a lot of stock in Shotzi Blackheart, because she had a great year. She's had a great start to this year as well. And she's great, but I don't know. I don't see them winning. I'm Dakota and Gonzalez. Like I said, they've been together a little while now, so I see them taking home the first ever Women's Dusty Cup.
Yeah, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, definitely. Brett Thomas in the comments says, heard WWE want Logan Paul at Mania. Who would you put him against, Lesnar or someone legit, as he is facing the greatest boxer ever in Floyd Mayweather? I'd put him against someone who's going to really do him some damage.
Yeah.
Sin Cara in a shoot fight.
Yeah. Bring Sin Cara back. And we'll then see who the greatest boxer of all time is.
Yeah.
I think that fight with Mayweather's off, actually.
I think it's postponed at least, isn't it?
Or postponed, yeah.
Oh, you want Logan Paul anyway?
Well, I wouldn't really want to see him at Mania.
Money, I guess.
Yeah.
He draws a big crowd and stuff, but I've no interest in him. I think he's an absolute wet wipe, me personally. But yeah, I've no interest in him, not at all. All right, so unanimous for Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Loving the comments, guys. Please do keep it up. We love the interaction with you. It's great to be doing this on Powered 4 TV and on our own Facebook as well. It's absolutely awesome. And right, we move on to, again, this is another great looking match. Johnny Gargano defending the NXT North American Championship versus Kushida. I've loved the build to this. I think Johnny Gargano plays a great heel. I love the faction, the way. I think that's great. There's just so much to like and also really dislike about Johnny Gargano as this character. I do think his time with the North American Championship ends tonight as we finally see Kushida sort of start his ascension up the ranks in NXT and picking up his first title with the North American Championship.
Yeah, it's going to be, as you say, great match. Gargano, I love their segment on NXT this week.
Yeah, it was great.
Out the match with his wheelchair. It's so good. So, yeah,
I love the part that Regal played in it as well. Like when they were showing the scan on the screen, and it was like it's the wrong arm for a start, and Johnny. Johnny Gargano's like, the R stands for real. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So good from Johnny Gargano. Great comedy timing. It was just really, really good. And then obviously you had sort of Kushida sort of standing in the background, and Austin Theory tapped him on the shoulders just to say, "Oh yeah, look at all this," and realized it was Kushida, and then Kushida started to sort of lay them all out. But it was a really great segment, and I'm really, really excited for this one. This one's going to be really good.
Yeah, it's like a dream match for sure.
It is.
It is in a way. Yeah, definitely. I said a few weeks ago on the podcast that I wasn't really much of a Johnny Gargano fan, but this current gimmick or character that he's playing, like you said, the comedy timing from him, he's actually a really funny guy. It kind of reminds me a lot of when Kurt Angle was a heel.
Oh yeah,
that comedy timing. It was the comedic heel as opposed to the detestable heel. I really do like it, and props to him. I've changed my opinion slightly on Johnny Gargano, but I do expect Kushida to win. I'm not going to predict Gargano going up to Raw or SmackDown. Let's just
no, not me. No, not at all.
Because I just wonder at this point with the likes of him and Ciampa, and do you know what? At the minute, even the Undisputed Era, they might be in NXT forever.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they've been in there for years, and you just kind of feel it. In Ciampa's case, he's had a few injuries and been out for a long time, but you hear a bit of noise where they're like, "No, I'm happy where I am." So I don't expect Gargano to be going up. Now we've said that, he'll be on Raw Monday.
Yeah. I would like to see them. I would like to see the faction go up. Like, just send the weight up there. Austin Theory, has already had a taste of the main roster. When he was sort of paired up with
Seth.
of course, with Seth, of course. But I would like to see them all go up. I think Candice LeRae's ready.
Yeah.
And Indy Hartwell can learn on the job, definitely. Especially under the tutelage of Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm quietly confident that Gargano could go to the main roster after this.
Really? I don't know.
Stays in NXT for the next 4 years.
I think he's probably been he's been quite a focal point of NXT the last few weeks. Like you say, with all the stuff he's been doing, all the funny stuff that he's been doing. I just feel that NXT probably want to keep that for a few more weeks. Perhaps leading up to Mania, they want to keep that keep him down there. Not down there. That sounds terrible, but
it's not just developmental anymore, Stephen.
No, I know. Keep him down there, down in Florida, obviously, because it's south of New York and Connecticut. Yeah, maybe they want to keep him around for a bit longer, and I wouldn't blame him because, like I say, he's been great last few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, he's been consistently great for the last. I mean, however many years he's been in NXT now, which is a fairly long time now. He's obviously been there. He's one of the ones that's been there since the very start.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've probably got and it may actually happen on an NXT show rather than at a takeover or a pay-per-view, whatever. But I do think we're probably going to get Gargano and Theory in a tag match against Dexter Lumis and Kushida at some point. So obviously Dexter Lumis is there in pretty much every segment that they have as well. He's there
in the background.
Yeah, I like
the background. So
yeah, I like Dexter Lumis's character. I think he's really cool. I'm not sure what part he plays in all of this. Maybe he cost Johnny Gargano the championship tonight, but yeah, I'm not really 100% certain what role he plays, if any, tonight. To be honest, I was actually expecting a singles match between Theory and Dexter Lumis, to be quite honest. But that might happen maybe next week on NXT, because obviously we've got Karrion Kross versus Santos Escobar, which I was also expecting to be on TakeOver. But
interesting.
That's going to be on next week's episode of NXT. But I know that they do like to keep the TakeOver shows, relatively short, down to just only a few matches, which is great, to be honest. I prefer the shorter shows, but I think everyone does. No one wants 9 hours of pay-per-view. The Royal Rumble was long enough.
Yeah, it was.
So are we all in on Kushida there?
I want to say Gargano, just to be different again, and
just to be different, right?
But no, the way he's been doing so well. It's not been a team that long, so I think they might carry on with the way team a bit with Johnny as champion, just a bit longer.
Okay, fair enough. I think that would have worked if they're gonna do that and keep the belt on Gargano. I think that would have worked better if Candice and Indy were in the final of the Dusty Cup, because they could have had them with all of the sort of all that power. I think that would have been great, and their arrogance would have been unbearable. But hey, either way, it's shaping up to be a great show, and I'm excited to see what happens with the way. Either way,
hey.
Can we have the bumps?
You can. There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Right. That's live TV for you, boys and girls. That's what happens. Right. Moving on. The final of the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And this one is going to be very special indeed.
Oh, yes.
MSK, formerly the Rascals in Impact, taking on the former NXT UK Tag Team Champions, the Grizzled Young Veterans. Oh my God, this one! I mean, I know I said it for the women's triple threat, but there's a few matches tonight that really could be match of the night, and in fact, the whole card could be match of the night, pay-per-view of the year. But MSK versus GYV is a really special looking match. I mean, I've really enjoyed the Dusty Cup this year.
MSK versus El Fantasma on NXT this week was amazing. Such a good match.
Oh, so good. So good. I mean, we talked about it on the pod, didn't we? I mean, we said it was, we knew going in that it was going to be a great match. And, it didn't disappoint at all. I mean, I love MSK. I think they bring a lot of innovation to the table in terms of tag team wrestling. But I do also feel the same for Grizzled Young Veterans, although they are more of a traditional, wrestling tag team in the style that they have. So it's a real interesting clash of styles that we're going to get tonight, and I think this one is very difficult to call. Now, I said Grizzled Young Veterans on the podcast, but that's only because they lost last year.
Yeah,
true.
Is
that good enough reason for them to win this year?
Yeah, maybe. I could definitely see it. Again, it's another one that could go either way. I think I went with MSK just because they're on a good run right now.
I would love to see MSK win it, but to be honest, whoever wins, I would be happy.
Yeah, same here.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, same here. Two great tag teams. MSK have really impressed me. I didn't see a lot. I didn't see a lot. I didn't see any of them in Impact. I only really heard of them once rumor started that they were going to join WWE. But I've been really, really impressed. And what a way to sort of introduce yourself by making a debut in the tournament as the surprise team and then actually going on to win it. That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
At the same time, you're absolutely right. Grizzled Young Vets, unfortunate to lose last year. So is this their year? Obviously, someone, Triple H, holds a lot of stock in them, clearly. So
big time.
For me, Zach Gibson's one of the best talkers in the whole business.
So good. He is so good.
I mean, he generates heel heat like, almost nobody else. He's just so good. And I love the dynamic between him and James Drake. I would love to see him win it. I really would. But, at the same time, I would love to see MSK win it. Either way, the NXT tag team division is so exciting. It really is fantastic. I know, a lot of people talk about AEW having a really great tag division, but, this year's Dusty Cup shows that NXT, is right up there competing with them, on a tag team level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really good.
But that's going to be a really great match. I'm so excited for it. I think this one might start the show, really start it off on, the front foot. And raise the bar for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I'll be okay with that.
It could be one of them where after the match they go back and backstage and everyone goes, "Great, thanks for that. Got to follow that now."
Yeah. Follow that. Yeah.
But it has the potential to be one of those matches, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. I hope it's given a bit of time. I think it will do. I think. Down in NXT, down. God's sake, in NXT.
The disrespect for NXT from you on this.
I'm saying down. It's like if it was in London, I'd say down in London. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them.
All right. Okay.
It's south. Got away. I think I got away with that one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
They give their tag teams a chance, don't they? In NXT,
they do.
So it will get time. Hope it gets a good. Just so they can show off their skills and just show what they can actually do and potentially put on match of the night.
Definitely. I mean, they definitely show, more stock in their tag teams in NXT than they do on Raw and SmackDown. And the proof of this is the fact that I forget who the tag team champions are on a weekly basis for Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I nearly said Street Profits.
I can see now in your eyes that you don't know who the Raw tag team champions are.
I actually don't. I think it's SmackDown.
It's the Hurt Locker. No, Hurt Business. Sorry, Hurt Locker. That's a film. And on SmackDown,
it's Hurt Business, and it's the Dirty Dogs.
That's an awful tag team name. An awful tag team name.
Don't mind it.
Shut up, Finn.
It's at least they have a name. At least not just Dolph and Rude. It's a name they have.
Look, why pick that name? The Dirty Dogs. It's like dogs like DAWGS, like Rude Dog and the Dweebs from back in the day.
Surely Rudolph would have been better.
Well, I mean, if they were the tag team champions at Christmas, can we get the drum noise for Steve there?
Yeah, Rudolph. Yeah.
Thought you were going to play the tumbleweed one.
Do we have a tumbleweed one?
Not at the minute.
Not at the minute, right? Okay.
We need one. Okay. We do need one.
We definitely need one. All the bad jokes that get made on this podcast, we definitely need a tumbleweed one.
Yeah.
Right. Before we move on, Steve and myself are going to be part of Added Time, which returns tomorrow night on Powered 4 TV from 7:00 right here on Facebook, and we're just going to take you to a little preview of that now. So here you go, guys. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Added Time from Powered 4 TV. This is going to be a brand new weekly live football show. It's going to go weekly in a few weeks, so this is like the pilot test episode. That's why we've dragged Mike in off the streets, you see, just to help him just to help us get
I've even
through
got a
this
shell
first
suit
bit.
on. John Barnes nearly ran me off the road the other week, but we won't go into that.
If we can have a look at the current league table as it stands right now, please, Mr. Producer. There it is. Look at that.
Hey!
Seamless transition. No one can read it because unless you're the borrowers. Let's have a look here. So,
Just to go off on a tangent a bit here, right? You know when BT Sport have Peter Walton in as like a ref in a ref watch capacity.
yeah.
Oh, it's this, it's that, and all that. Yeah, it's all well and good. You sat there in the studio, Sunshine, but what were you like when you were on the pitch and you had to give a decision? Total different. You can't. He can be sat watching a screen like the rest of us. Yeah, it should have been this, it should have been that. He was one of the worst refs in the Prem. I remember loads of times we got screwed by Peter Walton.
Americans are loving their soccer. Stu, you were saying this just the other day. Stu, didn't you predict that USA would win the World Cup by
No, right.
2050?
Fulham, I don't know. I don't think so.
I think Fulham were hedging their bets on Mitrovic. He can do it at championship level week in, week out. He can do it for Serbia.
Yeah, I think they're after a striker, aren't they, in this window? I think they're looking to bring in somebody from AEW to as well. I'm hoping producer Rich will have these scores down for us so they can come back. So we definitely will have forgotten by then. It's like 3 weeks away. So
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
nice, John.
I'll go 1-1. Bloody hell, what are we supposed to be here? Mystic Meg, 3 weeks' time. This is like 3 games in between this.
Rich said to me, he was like, well, this is the next time we're going to be on.
Yeah.
Next time we're on, we're predicting the 2024-25 Premier League season. I've got Blackpool to win it, lads. I don't know about you, so...
He's going to take us
Isn't
off
that the year USA won the World Cup?
Yeah.
Sports.
All the sports. Added time tomorrow night, right here on Facebook at 7:00. So yeah.
Yeah.
The Games Graps podcast filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yep.
Right. So we've talked about 4 of the matches. There's only 5 on the card. But I really do think this is going to be one of those special shows, and 5 matches is just enough. I think it's perfect, actually.
Yeah,
I agree.
that's what we need.
Yeah, that is literally all you need is 5 matches, and that'll make it a good, probably like a 2.5 hour show.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 'cause I imagine you'll have a bit of presentation after each Dusty Classic match as well. Presenting the winners with the trophy and all of that. So you're gonna have a little bit of that. That might add a bit of time into the show. Probably that's been taken into account as well. So
Of course, yeah. I mean, there'll be like some sort of like Triple H will bring flowers out for the winners of the women's one. That usually happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wonder if we'll see Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler there tonight.
Maybe that's a good shout. That's a really, really good shout.
Yeah. That'd be
Calling
cool.
them
Or
out.
like comes like square off against the winners.
Yeah. But then again, if what I've predicted, will they? Because it kind of gives it away a little bit as well. Then for future storyline.
Sure.
So who knows?
Yeah,
Could happen. Thing is, I'm not even sure. I'm guessing that this tag match with Naomi and Lana is next week at the Elimination Chamber.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't really think anything's been announced for the Elimination Chamber aside from the 2 Elimination Chamber matches and Bobby Lashley defending against Riddle and Keith Lee.
Yeah.
It seems more like a SmackDown match than a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
Well, it would definitely take place on Raw because that's where the tag teams are.
Oh yeah, all that. I can't keep track because they're on every show, so it's like are they on SmackDown, are they Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are on every show.
But it should be a really, really good show tonight. It's just one that I've been Really looking forward to it. I'm excited to see, what they do with the Capital Wrestling Center. I love how they do it up. For the sort of takeover shows, and obviously when they do the themed shows as well. I think they do a really great job of making the Capital Wrestling Center look awesome. I can't really describe it any other way other than awesome.
They're very cool.
They have. I think WWE, to be credit to them, they've done a great job in last year actually being able to put on any sort of shows, and then the Thunderdome. I think the Thunderdome looks impressive, and then all the
I do, yeah.
And they've done the best that they can with their pay-per-view sets. Credit to them on that. They've done well in the face of adversity, but fingers crossed. It should be fans at WrestleMania, so that'll be
that'd
be good. It'd be good to hear that.
Yeah, because they had 25,000 at the Super Bowl, and also they had cardboard cutouts as well, which I think WWE, we're talking about keeping.
Yeah,
because of how it made the stadium look, and I've seen pictures. I don't watch American football, but it looked really good from what I saw. It looked like a full stadium, and I think the superstars deserve, some fans. There was no fans at WrestleMania at all last year. Great line from Paul Heyman on SmackDown this week saying because Roman Reigns wasn't there, it was the lowest attended WrestleMania of all time, which I thought was quite clever.
Yeah.
But so there was no fans last year. We've had no fans for the main roster since. NXT, does have a smidgen of fans, but obviously it's a mixture of fans or maybe close friends and family, and also some of the NXT Performance Center talent as well. So at least they have been performing in front of people.
Yeah.
I know for a short period of time they had talent at Raw and SmackDown when it was at the PC.
Yeah.
But those cardboard cutouts are lucky, aren't they?
What's that, sorry?
I was saying those cardboard cutouts are really lucky. They've seen the Super Bowl and then they're going to go and see 2 nights of WrestleMania. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty good to be fair.
Yeah.
To be a cardboard cutout, eh?
Yeah.
That's our life.
I like the fact there's 2 nights of WrestleMania. New Japan do it for Wrestle Kingdom, and that's the biggest show that they have. Well, why can't WWE do it? I know they obviously want to give all the paying fans all the matches all in one night, but when you're watching WrestleMania at home, it's so difficult to watch because of how impossibly long it is.
Yeah,
it is for us over here because it's a 10 p.m. start if it's a 2-hour pre-show, and then it finishes. I mean, I can't remember what year it was. Was it Roman versus Triple H? I can't even remember now. It was.
Yeah, I think it was Roman versus
5:20 in the morning. Just
yeah,
and you hear stories of people that actually go to WrestleMania and they say the crowd are just done. The crowd are just done by the end, and that's at a reasonable time. The last one that was in New York, New Jersey, that was it finished at like 1 o'clock local time. That's 1 a.m. local time.
Yeah,
I mean that's ridiculous. And they'll have been probably queuing up from 4 p.m. and it's too much. And I was glad when it went to 2 nights. I'm glad this year is 2 nights. I think next year it goes back to normal though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
we'll have to be able to fill out a stadium, but who knows?
I wish it wouldn't. I preferred. I mean, I loved it over 2 nights last year. And I would like it. I'm going to enjoy it over 2 nights this year as well. It just makes it easier to digest as a wrestling fan.
I think so. Yeah.
John in the comments says hard thing for a wrestling show will be fact the field won't be used like the Super Bowl was, as it's a ring and a ramp, and usually an absolutely massive ramp as well. So it's what WWE do to fill them spaces if fans are going to be sat in the stands. I mean, they could absolutely shoehorn Thunderdome in there as well.
Yeah,
maybe in some capacity. Yeah, just have just some Thunderdome. But if they are going to get 25,000 in there, along with the cardboard cutouts, I don't think it'll be that bad. It's going to be weird, obviously, having cardboard cutouts, but it's weird having faces on screen. So, I think nobody does live. Yeah, nobody does live TV like WWE.
No.
You know, all the other wrestling companies, they put on great shows, no doubt about it. But you know, WWE put on the best live shows. They've been doing it for as long as I've been alive, pretty much. Nobody does live TV like WWE, and they'll be constructing plans. Not now, while we sit here doing this, they'll be constructing plans, for WrestleMania and how they are going to do it, and it'll be so meticulously planned that it will look impeccable. They will want to, bring the house down, especially after last year when they had to drag that massive WrestleMania sign into the Performance Center for Kevin Owens to jump off.
Oh, yeah.
This year they will want it to at least look and feel like WrestleMania should do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm excited to see what it looks like. I missed all the stuff last year of like, oh, here's the aerial shot of what the entrance ramp's going to look like and all that sort of stuff. I love all that. It's just part of WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's part of the build, isn't it?
It is all the hype and stuff surrounding it. I love that.
Pictures leaking onto Twitter and whatnot. It does build, and we got none of that last year, really.
No, it continues with the hype. It really does. Brett's still watching along on YouTube, on the Powered 4 YouTube. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thank you, Brett.
He's still talking about Logan Paul. Might be announced on Raw. If I'm being honest with you, Brett, I don't see Logan Paul being a part of WrestleMania. I think one celebrity spot with Bad Bunny is probably going to be enough. And I think if he was going to be a part of it, so no, not necessarily, but maybe it would have been announced by now just to sort of start the hype train rolling. But I can't say I've seen anything about it. I don't know about you guys.
We're still 8 weeks. We're still 8 weeks away from Mania. So
yeah, true. Plenty of time yet. Plenty of time. Maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit there.
I'm sort of 100% sure who Logan Paul actually is, other than he's on YouTube.
There you go. That's all you need to know. He's that guy. He's one of two blonde American. Really annoying American brothers who do YouTube stuff and also fancy themselves as boxers, despite one of them, I'm not sure which one, Logan and or Jake Paul, like Jimmy and or Jay Uso, lost to KSI, who is also a YouTuber from this country.
Cool.
Yeah, great. Right. Back to NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, and this is the match that we are all waiting for. Finn Balor defending the NXT Championship against the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Now, this, oh my God. I said this on the podcast the other week. I said, inject it. And oh God, I'm so stoked for this.
Is it going to be good?
Yeah. Oh God, it's going to be so good.
Big time. Two of the best in the world in NXT, in wrestling, ever. having an amazing match.
Yeah, this is a dream match, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. I've loved the build to this. Obviously, Pat McAfee's took a bit of a back seat. He was the leader of this faction with Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Lorcan, but he's not been around for a little while. I'm still not sure why. I don't know if anyone else knows. But
maybe he gets involved tonight somehow.
Maybe. But if he gets involved tonight, then Pete Dunne has to win.
True.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I can't see Pete winning.
Yeah. I'd be okay with it, but yeah, I reckon Finn probably retains now until WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case as well, but I really do want Pete to win. But like we discussed on the podcast, obviously the factor of carrying Cross is in there as well. And, how do they... Because obviously, the big tease is that Karrion Kross is going to go against whoever the winner of this is. And the rumor is, of course, that the title's going to be defended at WrestleMania itself and not an NXT Takeover event WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
So, you would imagine that the match is Karrion Kross versus Finn Balor for the NXT title at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you would have thought so. I said it on the podcast for the likes of us. Pete Dunne is a big enough name. We'd love to see him at WrestleMania in a title match for whatever belt, really. To be honest, but I do think that Balor is the name that they want. He's a former main roster guy, so and he's the one that I guess those that are kind of your casual audience or your purely main roster audience, if that's what Finn Balor's doing now. That's the name that it's a recognizable name for those that perhaps drift in and out of watching wrestling, and WrestleMania being the one show of the year that some people do watch. So I think unfortunately that's going to be Pete's downfall for now. I do see him being champ one day, absolutely.
Yeah,
but not right now.
Okay. I'd still love to see Finn Balor versus Walter as well. I mean, that was supposed to happen. I assumed it was going to happen at NXT UK Takeover Dublin.
Dublin, it was, yeah.
Awesome. And then obviously we never managed to get that because COVID, came in just in time to wreck that for us all. Cheers. Well, I mean, this really is one of those dream matches for me. I firmly believe that they're going to put on an incredible show. And I did say it on the pod. Heart says Pete, but head says Finn, and I think Finn will leave Takeover Vengeance Day as the NXT champion still. But you know what? I love Finn Balor. I do. But I want Pete Dunne to be the champion. I would love that.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
I think it'll happen. I do think it'll happen. Just not now.
Yeah, I agree.
Not now.
Happy to be wrong, though. Happy to be wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But it'd be interesting to see which direction they do go in if Pete is the champion, because obviously, I mean, I'm not sure whether Karrion Kross is a heel or a face at this point.
Yeah, don't really know. He's got in between both of them, isn't they?
Yeah,
I think they can't try to make up their mind.
For me, the best thing to do with Kross would be to put him on the main roster. I mean, he's just got main roster written all over him, and obviously you've got Scarlett, who has got that $1 million look about her, and she'd be perfect for the main roster as well. And the fact that he had to have the championship taken from him because of injury and stuff like that, which was really unfortunate, especially considering how quick he came back as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the best thing for him would be to go to the main roster and to let NXT run its course as it always does. But clearly they want to keep him there for a little while longer and probably put the belt on him again.
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely a main roster looking guy, isn't he?
For sure he is. Yeah. The entrance is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You see, that's the entrance that we want at WrestleMania when it's dark.
Yeah.
You want the lights to. You just want all the light show and all that sort of the smoke and fireworks and madness that goes along with that entrance. And I think, that'll be something that WWE will be thinking about as well. It's a grand show, and they'll want that big spectacle that is Karrion Kross's his entrance.
That'd be amazing.
Well, I don't want to push the bloke before he's even got up there, but Karrion Kross versus Drew, I think that'd be a hell of a match.
You be into that?
Oh yeah, it'd be brutal, absolutely brutal. It'd be a great match, I think.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really good.
Two big sweaty men going at it.
Yeah. That's what we all want. That's what that's what Vince wants. I'm surprised that's not booked for WrestleMania. So now the title picture is completely up in the air at the minute. We don't know who's wrestling who at all. So maybe Kross will go for Drew at WrestleMania. He won't, but it could happen.
Could happen.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
It won't. It definitely won't.
Yeah.
But it could, and that's the most important thing.
Anything can happen in WWE, as they say.
Remember that on when you loaded up SmackDown 2 on the PlayStation?
Oh,
like that Jim Ross voiceover. Anything can happen in the WWE. Oh, it was F at that point, wasn't it? Anything can happen in the WWF.
Yeah.
Get off SmackDown 2. What a game. Still a great game now.
Hell of a game.
Yeah. I like that when you like roll to evade, you can like literally roll from one side of the ring to the other, like corner to corner.
How fast did you climb up the ladder as well? line at the side of the cage.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was not realistic at all. It's like one step and then jump to the top of the ladder.
Spike Dudley suplexing the Big Show. Amazing. You do all sorts of stuff.
Good stuff. I mean, that's why SmackDown 2 and that SmackDown series was great.
Yeah, love those games.
Yeah. Then they ruined it.
Yep, then it all went to shit.
Yeah, it all went to shit.
For a little while. They got shit again.
Back when we didn't care about game engines and graphics and shit. Just when it was fun.
Yeah, but back when we just enjoyed games for being games instead of sort of
miserable bastards now.
That's exactly what we are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
WWE 2K22 is going to come out this year, and we're going to tear it apart on the podcast, regardless of whether it's good or not. We'll be like, this is really good for like the first few days, and then like Big Show will like do a shooting star press or some dumb shit, and that's WWE 2K22 in the bin already.
Big Show will come out and do Adam Cole's entrance or something.
Paul White, baby. Oh man, right, that about wraps it up for us tonight. We're all unanimous for Finn Balor there, aren't we, despite wanting Pete Dunne to win?
Yeah,
cool. So I mean, I've had fun again doing this tonight, guys. We'll be back this time next week actually, because Elimination Chamber is this time next Sunday. So be sure to make us part of your WWE pay-per-view viewing experience. That's why we are the pre-show before the pre-show.
The pre-pre-show.
The pre-pre-show. And if you want to hear terrible predictions, we do have a podcast as well. Episode 131 is available on all podcast services everywhere.
Everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
Yeah, literally everywhere right now. I'm pretty certain that Finn's about to go to work on the video version of the podcast.
Yep, that's up tomorrow.
There we go. So that'll be available tomorrow. You can follow us on social media here on Facebook. I don't know whether you watch it on the Powered 4 Facebook or our Facebook. Either way, go like us on Facebook at Games and Graps. Same goes for Twitter and Instagram. And you can go to youtube.com/Games Graps to catch the video podcast every week. Also, so we literally are everywhere.
Absolutely.
You were supposed to follow that up with everywhere, like the podcast.
I've already used it everywhere, though, so I want to mix it up. I don't want to give them too many everywheres.
You don't want to give them too many everywheres?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got a couple of sound bites for the people of the world before we go?
Sure, why not? Let's go with the classic.
Good.
At random, let's go for this one.
I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
And that, ladies and gentlemen.
How's our friend down in London doing?
Oh, this guy.
Hey up! Care to attempt a high score, bloke?
No, still a no.
Yeah,
still a no. It's always going to be a no.
I've got the high score. I don't need to attempt it. I've got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave me alone.
Finn's not got it because he's not played it. Anyway.
No, not yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight for the NXT Takeover Vengeance Day pre-show. Before the pre-show, we hope you really enjoy the show tonight like we're going to. We'll be back this time next Sunday with Elimination Chamber pre-show before the pre-show, and you'll be able to hear our thoughts on NXT Vengeance Day on next week's episode of the Games and Graps podcast. But yeah, for now, my name is Sonny G, and I've been joined by Finn Steele.
Thanks so much. Goodbye.
And Steve.
Goodbye.
And we will indeed see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
We are about the love of pro wrestling. To re-watch our favorite wrestlers' moments. To live and breathe through the eyes of their opponents.
I swear I'm going to come at you like the pit bull that everyone thinks I am. I'm going to come at you harder and tougher than you've ever experienced before.
Under my belt and prove to people that I'm not just a model, that Mariah May is more than just a pretty face and they can't just kick me around. I actually can prove myself and I can wrestle, and I worked hard to be here.
Absolutely. Sounds like
scared! I love it! I don't care if you want to step in the ring with me. John Scott, is it? I remembered your name. You get my name right, hey?
It is an absolute joke that you would stand there and ask us that question, that anybody here thinks they even have to ask us that question, and that anyone out there would doubt us. So the next time you want to ask me that question, just read the fucking tweet and the context. You're wasting our time.
Thank you.